Hello, my name's Steve Larson. I'm doing this short video to tell you what I think you need to know to be successful at the next Roundtable networking event I facilitate. I started doing these in 1997. The reason I started them was I was frustrated because most of the networking events that organizations were sponsoring didn't do any business networking. They turned into small groups of people that knew each other, talking about their friends, their sports, their kids, but they didn't talk about business. Well, the Roundtable networking does. It's very intense, it's very concentrated, and it can produce great results for you if you're prepared. Now, here's what you can expect. When you arrive for registration, you'll be assigned a participant number. You'll be given a sheet. It'll have a seating chart. It will tell you how many sessions we're going to do that day, and it will tell you at which table you should sit at each session. You want to stick to that, because if you do, you'll be seated with 8 other people at every session that you haven't been seated with before. If we do a 7-session event, you'll get the opportunity to present your business to 56 new potential customers. Now, when you get your sheet, you'll be invited to find the table for session 1. I also suggest that if you get there early, you can start doing some networking before the actual event takes place. And if you don't know what that means, you should go out and buy Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Read it and add it to your library. It's the best book ever been written on networking, and it's just as applicable today as it was over 70 years ago when it was first published. Read that book, you'll know what to do. Now, at some point, hopefully right after you've gotten there, somebody is going to take the floor and they're going to welcome you and they're going to introduce me. What I'm going to do is read over the rules that you can already find on your participant seating chart, but I'm going to go over them, and then I'm going to invite you to take 5 or 6 of the sales call invitation forms that you'll find in the center of your table, and write your name, your participant number, and your phone number on the buyer's line. Now you might say, well, I didn't come there to buy, I came to sell. Well, I understand that, but let me tell you why it's important to also be on the lookout to buy. For every $1 of expense that you can save, that turns into $1 of profit, drops directly to the bottom line. Now, for every $1 of sales you get, a fraction of that turns into profit, if at all. I come from the automotive industry, so many suppliers only are operating on a 1, 2, 3% margin, which means $1 of sales only produces 3 cents of profit. So I think you'll agree that if you can find somebody selling something that you buy cheaper than you're paying now, you have to look at it. You have to look at it closely. Okay. I'm going to start the first session, and then you're going to have 3 minutes to impress the people sufficiently at your table to get them to invite you to make a sales call on them. And they do that by handing you that sales call invitation form. You write your name, your participant number, and your phone number as the seller. You tear off the top copy of it, which is white, and you hand it back to them. They tear off the second copy, yellow. They keep it for their records. And the third copy, which is pink, goes in the center of the table for me. It's the metric of how well the event went, and it's also the document we use to follow up and make sure the sales calls actually get made. Now, you'll have an egg timer, and the person with the egg timer is who's doing the presentation. You'll turn it over, and when the sand runs out, you're done, and it's somebody else's turn. We want to keep it on track, and we want to make sure everybody gets the opportunity to present themselves. Now, how do you do it? Well, I suggest that you sit down and you write a dynamite 3-minute presentation, write it down on paper as a script, and then start practicing it. Practice it in front of a mirror. Get so you can deliver this 3-minute elevator speech aggressively with confidence, and you don't even have to think about it. Now, why do you want to do it that way? Well, you want to be able to read the people at the table who are listening. You want to see if somebody nods their head yes, if they roll their eyes, if they give you some indication that they have a connection with your good or service they'd like to investigate. You may think that you sell a commodity or a service. You may think you sell office products, computer supplies, software, transportation. I would submit to you that you really don't. What you sell are solutions to people's problems and yourself. The mantra of the networker is, people do business with people they like. Well, you're there to be likable, you're there to be interesting, and you're there to offer the people at the table solutions to their problems. And what you will find is somebody with a problem. And you can convert them into a customer if given the opportunity, and if you're confident enough in yourself. Now, after the event is over, I hope that 5 or 6 people have handed you sales call invitations. And what I would suggest you do is when each one does, you ask them for their business card so that you can get their email. I would further suggest that that night, before you turn out the lights and go to sleep, you send them an email thanking them and asking for the appointment. And I'd be on the phone to them the next day trying to set it up. You want to be assertive. They invited you. You want to make sure you make the sales call. And with that, I'll wish you good luck, and I hope to see you soon at a new Roundtable networking event. Thanks.